Stand by for a transmission from DX Central. This broadcast is not a test. To confirm reception, please tune your radio to any AM or FM frequency and report your observations during this transmission. Again, this is not a test. Stand by for a transmission from DX Central. This broadcast is not a test. To confirm reception, please tune your radio to any AM or FM frequency and report your observations during this transmission. Again, this is not a test.
DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
From the pages of its DX Monitor member bulletin, members of the International Radio Club of America share their domestic and international AM/DX loggings. In its Mexican log, a wealth of information can be found of stations from south of the border. Technical guides, sunrise, sunset maps, and more make the IRCA a must-join for any AM/DXer. For more information, log on to ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org. While the HF bands can be filled with entertaining and intriguing transmissions, how do you know when and where to look? Let Teague Publishing's Global Radio Guide lead the way. In addition to its exhaustive list of time and frequency for international broadcasters, radio hobby icon Gail Van Horn brings you equipment reviews, an SDR buyer's guide, feature articles, and more. Pick up your copy today. Visit teakpublishing.com for more information. That's teakpublishing.com. Since 1933, the National Radio Club has been serving AMDXers while providing some of the most in-depth information in the hobby. From the annual NRC AM log, a must-have reference for domestic station information, to antenna design reference manuals, and of course, the DX News Member Bulletin, which is filled with station information updates, domestic and international loggings, and a whole lot more. Become a member today. For more information, log on to nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
Gulf South
to your corner of the world.
This is DX Central Live.
Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
All right, can you see me? There we go. All right. I don't know why. Every once in a while, the Yeti mic just turns itself off. I don't know why. Anyway, welcome, my friends, from the North Shore Studios here in Mandeville, Louisiana. Thank you so much for joining us here for this special edition of DX Central Live. We are chasing after a special DX test from the folks at WCGA in Woodbine, Georgia. And so we'll be looking for their test tones, Morse code, and more. We'll be showing you some information about that here in a few moments. Well, as I was saying before when the microphone wasn't coming through, I hope wherever you might find yourself this evening, you are warm and cozy with power. Obviously, you have something if you're watching us here, but hopefully this finds you warm and doing well. Perhaps with some family, friends. We have family here in town this week. The Van Horns are getting together and taking Mandeville by storm. So it's been a fun week so far with the family, and we're going to have a couple more days here for Christmas and whatnot. So hopefully you guys are able to spend some time together as well with your loved ones, or at the very least, a warm radio dial. And that's the great thing about DX is you always have a companion bedside, tableside, wherever it might be, to do some live DX with the radio. All right, we're going to be taking a look here at WCGA, Woodbine, Georgia, 1100. Before we get started, a couple things that I want to kind of show you guys here to get us ready for this DX test, so we'll be prepared. Let's go to this guy. Nope, not that guy. This guy here, guy. Yeah. Okay, so a couple things I want to show you. Number one, this is our YouTube channel here, DX Central YouTube channel. Now, some of you might be watching on YouTube. Some of you might be on our Twitch platform, Twitter, or Facebook. Wherever you're watching, we appreciate you. Some of you might actually be sitting on our website, which is dxcentrallive.com. We have two websites, dxcentralonline.com, and then this is the new one here, dxcentrallive.com. Where you can actually see some information about our live streams that we do, usually every Friday night at 6:45 Central Time. We're taking a little bit of a break right now for the holidays. We return on January 6th, but you can always see our most recent live stream right here on the page on dxcentrallive.com. As well as our YouTube channel here, we have a lot of videos. We have air checks from all over the place, and probably one of my favorite parts is the DX 101 videos. This is where we talk about tips and tricks and how-tos for building antennas and all kinds of other stuff. So you make sure that you go to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/DXCentral, and then you can find our DX101 video playlist right here on the main channel page. And when you do, there's actually a video that we're going to be playing here in a second here. I want to show you guys. This is our introduction to DX test videos. If you scroll into the DX101 playlist, we have two. We have the full version, which is a longer one, as you can see, about 26 minutes. And we have the shortened version here, which is about 15, that just plays the sounds that you can hear during a DX test. We're going to play some of those samples here in a few moments, so you can be ready to be on the alert for what to listen out for on tonight's DX test from WCGA. And we've also got here our website, dxcentralonline.com. And so if you need the details on how to QSL this event or whatever it might be, if you go to dxcentralonline.com and then click on our blog post here with the WCGA DX test, all of the CPC details are right here for you. What's needed for a QSL, where do you send it, what do you need to send, what are they looking for, and so forth. So this is a special Christmas Eve DX test. It's already Christmas Eve in Woodbine, Georgia right now. We're still about an hour away from Christmas Eve here in the Central Time Zone where I am. We also, speaking of Central Time Zone, have our friend Justin, UB Studios, up in Minnesota, where I hear it's a balmy 0 right now. In his neck of the woods in Minnesota. He's also streaming this live DX test as well, getting ready to put this out from where he is in Minnesota. So we'll see if they're able to hear it up there. I think last time WCGA did a DX test, I think Justin was able to hear it up there as well. So kudos to Justin, as he's also bringing the live stream out there for everybody. All right, let's go ahead though and do a quick look at the introduction to DX test video. This is the condensed version. I'm going to skip ahead here into the parts where we start talking about some of the different sounds that you'll hear in a DX test. Some of them have visuals and so forth. So let's take a look now at our DX 101 intro to DX test video right here from DX Central.
SDR waterfall, the dits and DAs, you'll actually see those on the waterfall.
You never know what opportunities life will send your way, but if you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis or psoriasis,
And here's another example, this time from 1220 WCPH in Etowah, Tennessee. Now for some of the more unique sounds you might hear during a DX test. There's the first ones we're going to explore are what we call tone sweeps. There's a handful of different kinds of sweeps. And this first one is what's called a linear sweep. This was actually something that was provided to the CPC, as most of these tones were, by a friend of us. He's an engineer at 650 WSM, and these are actually the same tones that they use to maintain and test against their own audio chain and their transmitters. So these are broadcast standards. Again, this first one is called a linear sweep. Now, very similar to the linear sweep, we have the logarithmic sweep. See if you can tell the difference. This next piece was actually developed to test a very specific element in the transmission line called limiter. So this is the limiter test. Now, this next tone was specifically designed for testing AM transmitters, for medium wave transmitters. It consists of a tone that starts at around 100 hertz, runs all the way up to 5 kilohertz, and then bounces quickly back and forth between the two of them. Another commonly used element in DX tests is the single frequency tone. Now, which frequency is used can vary from test to test, but probably the most commonly used is the 1 kilohertz tone. If you've ever been sitting on 890 kilohertz on the East Coast and you heard that 1 kilohertz heterodyne from Algeria on 891, you know exactly the sound that you're looking for here. The difference here is that these are going to be on both the upper and lower sideband of the carrier frequency. These are going to run for about 30 seconds or so, and they're extremely easy to identify on that waterfall if you're running an SDR, because you'll see two solid lines right on 1 kilohertz off of that carrier frequency. So here is an example of what that sounds like, the 1 kilohertz tone.
Yeah, listen to that pitch.
Probably one of the more unique sounds you might hear.
That pitch is definitely what's going to stand out for that 1 kilohertz tone. So, so those are a couple of the examples of what we're going to hear tonight: the sweeps, the limiter sweep, the 1 kilohertz tone, and obviously some Morse code. Those are some things we're going to be looking out for here from this DX test from Woodbine. We're about a little over a minute away. A couple more reminders. Again, you can find our website, dxcentralonline.com, and then scroll to the blog post area, which is right at the beginning of the page, and you'll see our link here for our WCGA DX test information, so you can see all the information you need to know. Also here, dxcentrallive.com, bookmark this one as well, and this is where you can find our live streams every time we do one, and you also have obviously our platforms on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. Our friend Justin over here doing his thing with the live stream as well from Minnesota. Make sure you check him out and support UB Studios. He's a great guy. Justin is. UB Studios is the channel here on YouTube for Justin and his live stream. So we'll make sure we support him as well. Anyone who's out there doing DX related stuff, we want to make sure we're supporting it here at DX Central because it's super, super important. All right, you guys ready? Let's take a tour around the shack really quick and show you what we got. We got 2 radios, actually 3 radios tonight. We got our Perseus here with the Jaguar software. We've got our, once I get rid of this browser window, we've got our AirSpy HF Plus Discovery with the 35-degree CAS pointing pretty much right at Woodbine, so that'll be a good indicator for us if we're hearing them. We've got our twin W6 LVP loops on our RSP DX, and so that's going to also be another good one because we're going to point it right at them. I got to put my frequency on. We're going to point it right at Woodbine, and we're also going to use a phaser if we need to on there to phase out any interference if we have anything. So, as you guys know, in the DX test, I tend to now pull back. You'll see me, I won't be on camera. I'm not going to be talking a whole lot. We're going to be just letting this one roll through. That way you guys have a chance to hear what we're hearing. So, without further ado, it's time for WCGA Woodbine, Georgia. My friends, good luck. 73.
all of Northeast Ohio till 10 in the morning. And this morning, the National Weather Service recorded a 74-mile-an-hour wind gust in Fairport Harbor. 74 miles an hour is the equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane. Governor Mike DeWine is urging us, please stay home for the holidays.
Because of extreme temperatures, the salt will really not work very well at all. And that creates additional problems.
The State Highway Patrol confirms 2 people died this afternoon in a 46-vehicle pileup on the Ohio Turnpike between Sandusky and Fremont. The turnpike closed since the crash between US 250 and State Route 53 for rescue and cleanup. Level 3 snow emergencies posted in some counties to the west of Cleveland, Erie, Huron, and Sandusky counties. That means no driving at all, except for emergency vehicles. You could get a ticket. First Energy working as hard as possible to restore power outages, which are scattered all over Northeast Ohio. However, they can't deal with lines that have to go where they need a bucket truck to put the person up, as it's unsafe to put them up that high when you're dealing with this kind of weather. Now, your 3 News weather forecast.
Negatives expected for surface temperatures overnight tonight with wind chills likely well below -20. Blowing snows continue with blizzard conditions across Northeast Ohio as well. We stick with the frigid temperatures on Saturday with scattered snows looming, gusts exceeding 40 to 50 miles per hour across Northeast Ohio, with high temperatures ranging between 5 degrees and
This is a special maintenance test from WCGA 1100 AM in Woodbine, Georgia. This test is being conducted at our full daytime power as authorized by the FCC.
Closer than you think. This holiday season, 12 strangers, 12 tales, 12 ghosts. A fiction podcast from me.
The afterlife.
This is the liminal space between life and the next chapter. This is the
collection of stories presented in immersive 3D audio starting December 14th, ending on Christmas Day. Listen to 12 Ghosts on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Classic Auto Group and Lake County locations have seen the Lake County holiday wishes to the animal at the shelter. Look at cat or dog ornaments in the tree in the classic dealership showroom. Being named this season. Locations at driveclassic.com.
What's that strange noise?
Probably just a raccoon rummaging through garbage cans.
No. It's the furnace. I'm sure. Better get someone out here to fix it. That thing is clanking, and clanking.
Sounds like your furnace needs some attention.
Josh?
I'm sure it's nothing. Besides, who's got time to wait around for a repair? Mitchell's Magic gets you lickety split and arrives on time. Guaranteed. Or you don't pay a
We have
dime.
provided advance notification of this test to members of the National Radio Club, International Radio Club of America, and the Medium Wave Circle in the hopes that they will report their reception of our signal. We would appreciate any comments on audio quality, frequency stability, and overall performance. This test is being conducted at our full daytime power as authorized by the FCC during experimental hours. During the test, you will hear special tones and signals designed to test audio performance. Reception reports to this station are welcome. This is a maintenance test from WCGA 1100 AM in Woodbine, Georgia.
This is WCGA AM 1100 Woodbine, Georgia, serving Jacksonville, Savannah, and everything in between.
Well, this is the hour we'll take your calls with Joyce Keller, and if you want a reading, we'll need your birth date, month, day, and year, and then you will ask her a specific question. We'll do it all when we come back on Coast to Coast Radio.
There's a clear path to $2,000 for gold and $25 for silver, according to Bank of America. And Noble Gold Investments has all the details. Bank of America states the growth will continue throughout 2023. They see gold prices remaining elevated with an average price of $2,086 an ounce. Well, it looks like they're right. And it's time to open a gold IRA with Noble Gold Investments. At the beginning of December, gold crossed $1,800 and is still going. If this year has taught us anything, it's that tangible assets are the only assets you can count on if you like gold. Crypto keeps on tanking. Stocks are too volatile. Gold is steady. So what are you waiting for? Thousands of people have started making a move towards a secure retirement. Join them by opening a gold IRA or silver IRA with Noble Gold Investments. If you get in before the end of this month, you'll bag an incredible free 3-ounce silver American virtual coin with every qualified IRA of $20,000 or above. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold Investments and their thousands of 5-star reviews. Geico presents Daily Affirmation. With the Auphonix, we are filled with abundance of joy. We are filled with an abundance of joy. Abundance of questions. We've got a responsible time. Help ask a question and resolve claims quickly.
Good thing Geico has 24/7 claim service.
We also fill with an abundance of biscuits.
We are also filled with, I don't think it works this way.
Oh, don't forget that. To manifest more Geico in your life, go to geico.com. Smith & Wesson is committed to empowering Americans no matter what. With inflation hitting everywhere, we've decided to make a change. Now, you can buy a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, our most popular concealed carry firearm, at an all-new low price, $100 off MSRP. We're absorbing the cost, but passing along the savings to you, so you don't have to compromise on personal security. Visit SmithandWesson.com to find a Shield Plus near you. Smith & Wesson, always expect the best.
Welcome back to Coast. George Norrie back with Joyce Keller. And Joyce, once we get to calls, if they want a reading, I'll give you the birthday first so you can get a jump start on putting your preps together. And then we'll go to them and they can ask you a question or so.
Well, thank you. That's great, George.
Well, what are spirit guides?
Well, some have, if you have a very complicated life, you're going to have more spirit guides. They're going to have more opportunity of helping you. Spirit guides are a combination of not only angels primarily, usually they've never been in a physical body. You could have archangels or different kinds of angels, but you can also have relatives that want to join your band. Like your friend is not an angel, but he's part of your influence. We'll call them influencers. They'll give you ideas. They'll give you suggestions. Like, don't take that road. Turn left. You know, the spirit teachers, spirit guides are there to help us because it's not easy to be on the earth. It's very challenging. We have these 100 years or so. You know, it's like we have to make all the right decisions. So ultimately, you have free will, but the spirit guides are there to help us. They grow. We grow. We all grow together. And are there negative ones? Yes, you can have spirit teachers coming in.
I mean, you believe in demons, don't you?
Yes, I think that you can't have light without dark. You can't have day without night. You can't have yin without yang. It's like it's all together. The polarity is always there, north and south. I mean, you cannot just have goodness. A lot of people say, well, yeah, I don't believe in may not have done that. But I wanted to say he's doing very well now. He almost apologizes, but he doesn't really want to go there. He wants you to think of him in a very loving way. But with you, Tony, I have to tell you, the moon sign of Gemini when you were born, the moon sign of Gemini, you have a lot to say. You are really, you've got things to get. You really need to. So, Tony, do you have a question, or are we done? I don't know how I can work with you. Is there anything else?
No, I was basically answered my question. I've been curious as to the difference, 1100 WCGA, Woodbine.
It's so funny, you know, I'm not a crystal person, but again, I have a teacher come in who's saying if you would like to increase your financial situation, you have to get yourself a yellow sapphire. It can be a small one. The size does not carry. It doesn't matter. But what you have to do is cleanse the crystal first. By that I mean you take it. Washing is not exactly what I mean. You put it in the sun. You leave it out for a couple of days, and then you're going to speak to the crystal, and you're going to say, I am tired of lack of prosperity. I want to change this whole thing. And that sapphire is going to listen. It's going to help you. It's going to bring you wealth and prosperity, Kathy. So you have to have faith in yourself. You have to know things are changing. You've had a lot of financial difficulties, but we're going to turn it around for you. And prayer is so important. You know, don't hesitate to ask for what you want. Say, I really. Well, George was joking before, but not being so sure about asking for money. Is that what you said?
Not to be too greedy, right?
Don't be too greedy, but ask for a nice sum and go for it. It'll be there. You'll be so surprised and say, oh, where did this all come from? So.
Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate you being part of the program. If you had 10 people all born on the same date, would they have a lot of similar traits, Joyce?
Well, you know what? I don't know if you remember, George, but there were the Dion twins. 5 daughters. Do you remember that?
Oh, sure.
May 28th, my birthday, and mother's birthday.
My mother's birthday. That's right.
Right. 5 Dion twins were born. Each one, they were all born within a few minutes of each other, and they were all distinctly different. The nun was a teacher. One got married. I don't know what she did. She did nothing. This one was breastfed. Like they were all very, very different. And all born within the same. it gives you the opportunity of expressing that karma and correcting it and moving forward. And same with me. Achieved his mastery by making a few thousand correct decisions, and he got rid of his karma. But it's so hard not to create new karma. Like if you hurt someone or you do something and it wasn't even intentional, it's karma. And so you have to be really careful about the way you use your life and the way you go through life, and forgive people. Don't hold on to grudges. I know it's easy to say, but it's really true. Don't hold on to grudges. Don't be sad. And also don't hold on to grief, because that will just lower your vibration.
Oh, that's right.
You think you're doing a person a favor when they die, you're going to grieve for the next 20 years. That's ridiculous.
It will hold you back more.
It does. It holds you back, right?
Next up, Feb 10, 1950. 2-10-50. Michael's with us in New Jersey. Hey, Michael, welcome.
George, I would like to commend you on your compassionate attitude that you have on this program.
Well, thank you, Michael.
First, I was going to ask what my purpose was, and then I thought of a better question.
Okay, go ahead.
George, you have mentioned that we are going from the third dimension to the fifth. If we are to evolve to that extent, why would it not be possible for us to remedy the ongoing problems like food shortages and water shortages and riots, things like that?
Okay, the question, it's very hard to hear you, Michael. You asked the question, if we're moving forward in higher frequency and understanding, why would we have food shortages? Is that the question?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Well, I mean, the Earth is a school. If you look at it that way, it's a school of lessons, it's a school of challenges, and as we move forward, the food shortages and all of that is just like one more. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to learn to be self-sustaining and not run to the supermarket? Maybe you need to learn how to do something for yourself. Again, it's a school, and it's not a punishment. It's a learning process. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it's what I really believe, Michael. What do you think?
Where do people get your books, Joyce?
My books are everywhere. Even the old ones, like Final Angels, they're out on Amazon. I'd be surprised. I couldn't believe it. I wrote that years ago. And I'm thinking, I go to Amazon. It's all this website. I don't even get any more books. Go to the library.
We're going to come back in just a moment here. Joyce Tiller on Coast to Coast. So get moving.
To access the audio archive of Coast to Coast AM, log on to coasttocoastfm.com.
Here, Big News, brand new Cold Case podcast, Zone 7 with Cheryl McCollum. And you get to work a cold case with investigator Cheryl McCollum, family members, detectives, trusted criminal justice pros who make up her quote, Zone 7. This ain't just a podcast, honey, but a war room. Listen to Zone 7 with Cheryl McCollum now on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is at the top and bottom of the hour. Cleveland Smooth Radio, WTAM, 1100 AM, 106.9 FM, and on iHeartRadio.
More than 24 states are seeing below zero temperatures. ABC senior meteorologist Ron Marciano takes a look at the Northeast.
The alerts tonight are mostly for wind and cold blizzard, where the snow is still blowing around. High wind alerts for New England at the center that sort of wind its way up into Canada. But we will see temperatures continue to drop, more flash freezing, potentially more power outages, and more blinding snow, especially off the lakes. You could see 1 to 3 feet of snow falling here in the next 24 to 36 hours.
Over 900,000 customers remain without power
power in 18 states. A teenager was killed during a shooting at the Mall of America in Minneapolis that sent frightened customers to the nation's largest shopping center recently in lockdown just before the holiday weekend. Chief Booker Hodges said in his conference Friday night. Video someone from verbal fight. There's something flying. One person decided to pull out the remote lockdown was lifted. Tommy at BBC
Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you those up, I'll be wearing short. Yep, and the Dorothy Dad hat, and you do with that, so that's for you friends. You'll love it! It's just because I like the short shorts. Talk down a bit if you got some short shorts. It's important to get your no matter what. And sometimes, I would say,
Staff and ownership of WCGA 1100 AM in Woodbine, Georgia welcome reports of this special maintenance test from distant listeners. We have provided advance notification of this test to members of the National Radio Club, International Radio Club of America, and the Medium Wave Circle in the hopes that they will report their reception of our signal. We would appreciate any comments on audio quality, frequency stability, and overall performance. This test is being conducted at our full daytime power as authorized by the FCC during experimental hours. During the test, you will hear special tones and signals designed to test audio performance. Reception reports to the station are welcome. This is a maintenance test from WCGA 1100 AM in Woodbine, Georgia.
a cell waiting to be told what it needs to be. If there is inflammation, that inflammation needs to be stopped. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, kidney disease, various types of cancer, depression, Alzheimer's disease, autoimmune disorders, osteoporosis, even fatty liver are chronic signs of inflammation and can be aided by supporting the body's ability to protect those cells that it needs. And that is the purpose of ImmuStem and Adaptostim together, supporting the body to be the best it can be.
Dr. Millay, how will I feel after taking Adaptostim and ImmuStem?
The ImmuStem is going to have an immediate effect, but I guarantee you that your immune system is starting to function better after 24 hours. You put Adaptostim along with it, you will feel it in 30 minutes.
Order now at healthylearning.com. The stem cell wellness kit from Dr. Millay will protect your body's stem cells and will make you feel better faster. The stem cell wellness features Adaptostim and ImmuStem and your free gift Relaxol is only available at healthylearning.com or toll free 800-563-3980. Just enter promo code for free shipping. George's stem cell wellness kit at healthylooking.com. That's healthylooking.com.
This is your operating system talking, not your computers or your phones, but your own internal human operating system. I'm feeling a little overloaded right about now. Here's something you can do to ease my stress. Close your eyes, or if you prefer, softly gaze at something in front of you. Now, inhale for 4 counts, then exhale for 6. In for 4, out for 6. Repeat this for a few minutes, and you and I will start to feel more relaxed. If you want to ease the stress more long-term, please consider BetterHelp Online Therapy. They'll match us with a licensed therapist we can connect with via video, phone, or online chat. Having a professional to talk to can make all the difference in the world in helping our mental well-being. And it's more affordable than in-person therapy. Visit betterhelp.com/room-to-grow and save 10% on our first month. That's betterhelp.com/room-to-grow. Wow, I feel better already.
Real people, real stories.
I had acute eczema. I have tried every cream and ointment that you can imagine. It was pretty miserable. So I started taking Onivora, and at this point, I don't want to ever be without it.
Our little dog developed this lymph problem. The chemotherapy lasted for 6 months. He started developing more lymph nodes that were swelled up. So I thought I'd just try carnivore. The lymph nodes started to go down and swelling did. Then I took him into the vet to get him checked out, and there was no signs at all inside. My dad had issues that developed in the eye, so my veterinarian said, you know what, just go ahead and remove the eye. And I heard someone advertising it. So I said, you know what, I'm going to order this product. They did all this. I kid you not, this product is the eye.
836-836-8735. Carnivore.com. That's CARNIVORA.com.
And welcome back to Coast to Coast. George Norrie back with our final segment on Joyce Keller, and we will take final calls in just a moment. Joyce, you do a remarkable job. I just want to congratulate you on your wisdom and your compassion. WCGA.
Thank you, George. And right back at you. Same way about you. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. I really do try. And service is the most important thing. Service and love are the most important things. I mean, what can we do here?
Absolutely. Got to make it the best we can.
Absolutely. So that's what this show is all about. Coast to Coast AM is there for service and love. And so, especially during these very difficult holiday times, you're keeping people company, people who are alone. You know, it's like a lot of us are just by ourselves. We really do appreciate having you. So thank you.
We're having fun. Let's go to final calls. Here's the next one. We got December 26th, 1991. 2691. Let's go to Nadia, first-time caller in Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome to the show. Nadia.
Hey, George. Hey, Joyce. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Nadia. it's very difficult to have a birthday at the same time.
I'm so fortunate to have such great parents that made sure I was a gift.
It's all too much.
Go ahead with your question.
Ever since I was a child, I had dreams about my grandparents, and I never met either of them. And maybe only saw 2 to 3 pictures of them as a kid. My grandma died way before I was born, but my grandpa knew that he did have a granddaughter not long before he passed. Once I witnessed my other grandmother in the flesh in person after she passed, and I was 13 years old. I was in my parents' house. That was on another side of the family. What kind of connections of thinking of them, hearing in dreams, or seeing them in person? I haven't had a dream with any of them or saw them in more than 17 years. Does that mean they might have crossed over? And if this is common not only with family, could this be common with saints as well?
Okay, I lost the last couple of words. Is this common with what?
Saints.
Maybe not family members, but could this be common with saints and angels?
Absolutely. A Capricorn person, and Capricorn is one of the greatest mediums. I don't know if that's really true, but that's what our astrology books tell us, that if you're a Capricorn, you really have an edge with mediumship, and you're proving it, Nadia. You have a wonderful ability to connect. So I'm not sure what your question is, but I do know that you have great mediumship qualities, and I hope that you're going to use it. You also have the moon, the sign of Leo, at the time you were born. So you need to express what you're experiencing and share it. And do you tell your relatives about this? I mean, the people who knew your folks who have passed on?
I have, and it's funny because my dad saw his mother-in-law, my grandma, in the same house. We were out for a family trip, and he stayed home. He saw her at 4 in the morning, and he told me, he said, she passed when she was in her 80s, and said she looked like she was in her 30s, brown hair, she looked good, and he couldn't believe it. And when he told me that, I never told my family about it until when I got older, because I didn't want them to think something of me or, be worried. And him saying that just solidified, like, he saw her too, like, it's something that you just don't hear every day,
Absolutely. You're very gifted. And as a special birthday present from George and me to you, we're giving you an early birthday present of love and appreciation for your sensitivity. You're super sensitive and you're kind, and that's why they love to come to you. Yes, they do absolutely touch in with you, and I'm so happy that we had this connection tonight. So thank you. Thank you, Nadia.
Happy birthday, Nadia. Monday, which is the legal holiday for banks and things like that, right, Joyce?
Absolutely. So, thank you. That's another whole topic.
It really is. Next up, let's go to Feb 6, 1958, 2658. We're going to Daryl in Connecticut. Hello, Daryl. Welcome.
Good morning, George, and hi, Joyce. I've been listening to you for quite a long time.
Well, thank you, sir, and go ahead with your question.
Okay, my doctor told me, and I first want to talk about finance, but I think I got a more important one.
Okay.
Sister, she's able to talk to what she's seen. My mother and my brothers when they passed away in her dreams, and I haven't seen any of them. I was wondering, are they mad with me or something like that?
Even if they were angry before they crossed over, after you go over to the other side, you don't have any kind of anger like that. It's like God wipes it away, and there's love and there's compassion. And you were born the same day as Ronald Reagan. Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
A lot of his drive and compassion and the way he jumped from one career to being president, I mean, he was amazing, and so are you, Daryl. I mean, really, I would not waste a second of your time, Daryl, thinking about who's angry and who's not. Just express love. This is a time for love and for really, you're such a terrific person. You have helped so many people in your life. You're such a good Aquarian. I'm really happy that we had this connection, Daryl. It's very touching.
Thank you so much. I do have a list long as my arm, and I sure would like to keep in contact with you after tonight.
Darryl, it would be my honor. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's always great.
You take emails, Joyce, through your website?
Everything is through my website. And if you try to remember the email address, it's probably too long. It's Joyce Keller TV Radio at gmail.com, or you can go directly to my website. Either one, you'll find me. I'm easy to find. So,
all right, JoyceKeller.com, linked up at coasttocoastam.com. We've got time for some more questions and calls. Let's go to March 29, 1958, 32958. Joyce, Susan's with us in Roseville, California. Hi, Suze.
Hi, you guys. So nice it got through. I didn't think I would.
I'm happy you did.
Yeah, so much. I would just like to know if there's any pertinent information that I should know for this coming year. I was up for 3:10 p.m. I have Leo rising and a Cancer moon.
You were born March 29th, 1956, is that correct?
58.
58, okay. And you have a moon in Cancer, and you would like to know...
Leo rising, yeah,
A Leo rising. Okay, you have Cancer, moon in Cancer, is that correct?
Right,
Okay, so you know that the shifting of planets is coming March 6th of 2023. You're going to have Saturn right on your moon, so you're going to have some conflicted feelings emotionally. That's kind of, I don't know what your question was, but I'm going to talk to you anyway. So you have an opportunity to get rid of all the old sad feelings that you had about relationships and all of that. You're starting a whole new cycle on March 6th. March 4th, 5th, and 6th. Those days are really important to you. And I want you to hold on to that and know that what you want can manifest very easily at that time. And you're very good at manifestation. A lot of what you feel and what's in your heart really does come true. So that's really a gift. That's a gift from God. So thank you very much.
March 6th and what's the other one? March 6th and what?
I'm sorry, March 4th and March 6th. Those 3 days were transformational for you. It's a huge energy shift on the which is cool. It's going to affect you. It'll be terrific. in high school at the time, and my skin was erupting, and was really just stress more than anything else. Dermatologist can help, sure. I would assume he has already gone, but it comes from within. Dermatologists will give you cream and treatments, but it's a mindset. Clear your mind. Don't let people take advantage of you. You know, it's like, be happy. Happiness will get rid of any skin issue. No.
Only got a couple minutes left, Joyce, to make sure people have an opportunity to get a hold of you, because you will do readings for them individually. Your website is joycekeller.com.
Thank you, George.
And your books are still available all over the place, aren't they?
Even books that I took out of print are available on Amazon. Don't ask, but they're there. My new my Collier, I don't even remember. They were there. If you go to my website, you'll see all the books there. And they're all channels from God. So I'm very happy about that. God used me this way, and it was a privilege. So I'm thankful that people read my books or avail themselves of knowing me, connecting with me.
What is the greatest gift you think you have because of this ability?
I think we all have it. The greatest gift is that I help kids, and I work with people who are paralyzed, people who are lost, people who want to lose weight. I give them tools so they can help themselves. My guides come through, and I say, this person needs, I'm also a certified hypnotherapist. A lot of them have lives. So I can't even answer the question. It's all of the above. It's wanting and needing to help people and coming through it. Like, God helps me. What can I say, George?
All right, George, you have yourself a great holiday and a great Christmas, okay?
I love you, George. Thank you so much. I love your staff. You guys are great. You're the best.
Joyce Keller, again, her website is Lankford at coasttocoastam.com. We've got a great program for you tomorrow night, so make sure you are still here with us on Coast to Coast. For Dan Monty, Tom Dan Heiser, Lisa Lyon, Lex Longwood, Sean Montestour, Stephanie Smith, Chris Rose, Tim Manal, George Knapp, and Ian Puckett. I'm George Norrie, somewhere out there on Coast to Coast AM. We'll see you on our next edition. Until then, be safe, everyone.
potentially more power outages and more blinding snow, especially off the lakes. You could see 1 to 3 feet of snow falling here in the next 24 to 36 hours.
ABC's Trevor All tells us how they're doing in the west and southwest.
This vicious cold arriving like a freight train. In Oklahoma, tap water turning immediately to ice. Amarillo, Texas, plunging 33 degrees in just an hour. Cheyenne, Wyoming, 43 degrees. The fastest 1 hour drop in city history.
Over 900,000 customers remain without power across the country in 18 states. New York's governor deploying the National Guard to Buffalo and Erie County. A teenager was killed during a shooting at the Mall of America in Minneapolis that sent customers at the nation's largest shopping center racing into a lockdown just before the holiday weekend. Police Chief Booker Hodges at a news conference Friday night. Video shows some type of
1100 a.m. in Woodbine, Georgia.
Started to fly, and then one person decided to pull out the lockdown at the Mall of America has been lifted. Democrats have a little help getting that massive spending bill over the finish line to keep the government running well into 2023, and it covers a lot of ground.
That massive $1.7 trillion government, which includes $45 billion for Ukraine, $850 billion in military spending, including a pay raise for troops, and $40 billion in disaster aid for hurricanes, flooding, and wildfires. Only 9 Republicans in the House supported the Democrats to pass this legislation, which takes the majority in the House in just a matter of weeks.
ABC's Rachel Scott. This is ABC News.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in taxes, please listen to this important message. The IRS is aggressively hiring and quickly stepping up their tax collection team. Now equip yourself with a call to Tax Alliance. Don't let the money you owe the IRS keep you up at night and ruin your life. You may be surprised at how much having Tax Alliance on your side can protect you from the IRS collection and help you save thousands on what you owe. Here's what the customer had to say.
Tax Alliance did an amazing job putting into a quite difficult situation. Tens and thousands of dollars we have been paying for many years to come.
Tax Alliance is rated A+ with a Better Business Bureau, which is no consumer complaints. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes, have unfiled returns, or have a payment plan and are still frustrated, call Tax Alliance now for a free consultation. 800-577-4976. 800-577-4976. 800-577-4976.
A warning to parents as flu cases remain unusually high across most of the nation. ABC's Dave Packer reports on that story.
While the number of flu and hospital admissions has declined nationally for the second week in a row, the number of cases at this time of the year is still unusually high. 45 states as well as D.C. and Puerto Rico report very high or high levels of flu activity. Children are among the most vulnerable. There have been 47 pediatric flu deaths so far this year in the U.S., 17 influenza pediatric-related deaths in just the last week. Being urged to get their children over 6 months old vaccinated. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Families of 3 American servicemen killed by ISIS are suing a French conglomerate that pleaded guilty earlier this year to supporting the terror group. ABC's Ron Petersky has more.
Lafarge paid millions to ISIS so it could put its cement plant running in Syria. U.S. Attorney Breon Police described it this way.
Lafarge made a deal with the devil.
The company pleaded guilty and agreed to pay nearly $800 million. Now, families of 3 U.S. troops killed in ISIS attacks in Iraq, Syria, and Libya are suing Lafarge, arguing the company's payments provided ISIS the seed capital needed to transform into a brutal terroristic behemoth that killed their loved ones. The plaintiffs and families of Navy Petty Officers Jason Finan and Scott Cooper and Marine David Berry. Aaron Kitersky, ABC News, New York.
This is ABC News.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
Parts for spending money, but to help feed his little sisters.
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Todd Ant, ABC News.
Cleveland's news, talking sports from the Cleveland Ford Lincoln Studios.
We're closer than you think. This holiday season, 12 strangers, 12 tales, 12 ghosts. A fiction podcast from me, Aaron Mahnke, starring Malcolm McDowell.
So, this is the afterlife.
This is the liminal space between life and the next chapter. This is the great in-between.
collection of stories presented in immersive 3D audio starting December 14th, ending on Christmas Day. Listen to 12 Ghosts on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Russell Wilson here. The Play 60 United Way in the NFL help you play at least 60 minutes a day. To get involved, go to unitedway.org/play60. Are you going to do it every time? Brought to you by United Way and Gas.
WTAM 1100. News Radio WTAM 1100.
Now, Coast to Coast AM on News Radio WTAM 1100.
To the west. Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be across the nation, around the world. I'm George Corey. Welcome to Coast AM. Later tonight, Miracle Open Lines. And welcome to our free Christmas Eve show. Glad to have you with us. Here's what's happening. At least 5 people have been killed in the treacherous once-in-a-generation winter storm. Central and eastern parts of the United States. At least 6 governors calling for a state of emergency. Repeated earthquakes in northern California have residents out there wondering if there's a big one. At least 2 people died, 12 injured after a 6.4 magnitude earthquake rattled the small city of Ferndale in Humboldt County. Aftershocks are going on all over the place. Cal Orey, the woman who wrote the incredible book, The Man Who Predicts Earthquakes, about the late Jim Berkman, is with us. Cal, are you still expecting the big one?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying 2023, and they keep, putting it off. It's going to happen. Of course it's going to happen, but 2023, I don't know. There's quite a hit in the Cascadian subduction zone. No one always talks about that.
You do.
That's the area that can cause a tsunami. 6.4, no, not large enough for a tsunami. If it was like maybe a 7.8, or simply a great big 8 bucks, it could have been a tsunami. I didn't know this, but the southern part of the Cascadian zone, up in British Columbia, Oregon, and Oregon, so the bottom of it is the San Leandro River Flatline. How scary is that? So what would happen now? Will it happen? Right now, the scientists are saying 7 days. 18% will see a stronger state than 5.0. So that's really to shake everybody up and tell them not to send it because they talk about that aftershock freeze. It's weird. It was strong, and this thing got hot. It reminded me of Woodbine, the audience at one example down in Southern California, Glendale. It's the stories of the Northridge coast. This was strong. I mean, you saw the pictures. And the red flag houses, just like people, the commission to death. I'm going to go with 80% probably. We're going to see something stronger. It definitely could be in that region, yeah.
All right, Cal, we love your accuracy, but I hope you're wrong. U.S. consumer spending barely rose in November, while annual inflation increased at its slowest pace in 13 months. But demand is probably not cooling fast enough to discourage the Federal Reserve from continuing to drive interest rates to higher levels next year. This is Kevin Randall with his weekly UFO report. Kevin, welcome to the program, and Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Well, Merry Christmas to you, too, George.
Great. What do you got for us?
I'm going to say that at the end of the report here.
You can say that again, of course.
Okay. Last Friday, Arrow, that is the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, held a roundtable on their activities in what might be called a press conference. Ronald Moultrie, Petrie, the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, who you might remember from last May during the briefing in which he didn't answer many questions and who didn't know much about UFOs, was there. Also present is Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick. He's the director of it. In keeping with the ever-changing acronym, we learned that UAP now means unidentified anomalous phenomena rather than unidentified aerial phenomena. This was done apparently to be more inclusive, expanding the investigation of USOs, that's undersea objects, and objects on the ground. He said that they had submitted the first quarterly report and that they are open to the principles of openness and accountability, and they are committed to sharing as much detail with us as they can, but they haven't said much. The 3 points that I found interesting. First, they were asked specifically about alien visitation and said that they had found no evidence of it. I suppose you could suggest that even though there are hundreds of UFO cases that are unresolved, the go-to answer is not alien visitation. They need to eliminate many terrestrial-based answers before we can get into that arena. They admitted they were looking into older UFO reports, but the cutoff date for that was 1996. That seems arbitrary to me. However, it eliminates the need to look at the Air Force Roswell report. I think they looked at it and found that mogul answer wholly inadequate, and they didn't want to deal with the Roswell case given the vast amount of data available now, and that there's no solid terrestrial answer for it. And it might be they didn't want to investigate the initial encounter of 1980. There is an interesting documentation involved there, not to mention John Burroughs' award of 100% disability because of the unidentified anomalous phenomenon he approached. That would open a wide can of worms. People would then ask what was in the force in Asia. Finally, I'll point out that we are seeing the same thing today that we saw 5 years ago. Government, specifically the Air Force, was caught by dozens, if not hundreds, of flying saucer reports. The office to investigate, telling the public it was saucer, the true name was Project Sign, and the original order was written by Lieutenant General Nathan F. Clyde, which had a priority rating for escape flying saucers. It soon evolved into public relations and eventually became known as Project Blue. The mission was to explain UFOs originally, not investigate them. There are now we're now at the point where the Air Force was when they began the investigation in 1947. And at one point, UFO sighting was interesting. The witnesses were sitting on their deck in Aurora, Colorado on September 23rd when the object in distance. As it moved toward them, green lights, which they thought were those of the first thing, but they heard no sound. As it flew over them, it stopped and no one could tail, and it disappeared to the south. They watched it for about 5 to 10 minutes, and all of a sudden, it was not like any plane they had ever seen except for the colored line. That's where we are tonight. George said I have the complete transcript of that. There will report on my blog, and I would like to take a look at it and much
You know, we're getting close to wrapping up my 26th year of living coast to coast for you. We begin our 21st year in January, and we'll be having a special program for the next 7 weeks. So my idea a long time ago was that I never want to take a holiday. And we continue with that tradition. There are a lot of people about people who are just alone with each other. And this program has become their family. And the therefore, we always want to live show now this week, Christmas Eve is Saturday, Christmas Day is Sunday. The legal holiday for Christmas Day is Monday. I'll be on live there. So what are we going to do on Saturday and Sunday? Well, if my weekend host didn't want to work the holidays, I'm just going to do it. There was one other weekend host who jumped at the opportunity and said, I'll take both days. And that's our own Connie Willis, and she's with us right now. Connie, thank you for that.
Oh my gosh, it's an honor, and I love when you just take off. In fact, all of us would wish you would take off your little horses. We love to be on early. Take off more. You deserve holidays. You've been doing this for 2 decades. I can't believe it, George. 20 years.
Going on 21, starting in January. Off we go again. But This is great, but time at the holidays fallen on a weekday, I'd be doing the program with you. And I want to thank you for volunteering to take Saturday and Sunday, both weekends. What do you got in store for us?
Hey, I got really big for you Tuesday, Andy. I'm taking care of you. I have on Christmas Eve. Now, you don't know. I don't know you might know this. But you know we have to do one before every one. So we need to do extra. And you also got to do this. On this time, I put over the Connie. Yes, I put
psychologist with 30+ years of experience as a therapist in 1992. He investigated psychokinesis, the ability to influence matter using the energy of corrupted consciousness. This unique energy is useful in healing and manifestation. Having been scientifically confirmed PK in university laboratories and has taught PK in more than 150 workshops, such as his inner vagus adventure, where students achieve dramatic healing, strong influence over dice and slot machines, and really powerful methods express stations at home. Dr. Daniel is a trainer for the past 30 years at the Monroe Institute, created the very popular MC-SDR program to teach PK, energy healing, manifestation. One of our favorite guests, Dr. Joe. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Joyce. Congratulations on the year.
Oh my gosh, it just seems like yesterday. It just really does. I was just looking at Liquid Luck again today. What a fantastic book. How did this start for you?
As a psychologist, around for things that move things along in terms of Institute was in my body kids, and I went up there. I took some great in the form of meditation exercises, those kind of things. So I started kind of coming home to it, wanting to go out of body and explore the universe. But after a while, like all those refugees appear, and it turned into how we manifest energy healing, those kind of things. And one of the that is with psychokinesis, matter with your own energy, because we can cut it so well. And so I got going and still working a little bit.
WCGA, Woodbine, Georgia, 1100 AM. Wonderful, coastal Georgia. Thank you for listening.
Joe, tell us about Liquid Luck.
This is a special maintenance test from WCGA, 1100 AM in Woodbine, Georgia. This test is being conducted at our full daytime power as authorized by the FCC during experimental hours. During the test, you will hear special tones and signals designed to test audio performance. We thank you for your patience. This is a maintenance test from WCGA, 1100 AM in Woodbine, Georgia.
interesting report that he said usually in the past some people would have less than desired results, and with this they're all in a positive energy and had a good place happen for them. So I thought those were pretty interesting.
That's fantastic. It's positive energy going into this.
It's super important. You know, you see a movie like The Secret, and it's great telling you to visualize. To me, that's using your mind, and the mind is like the steering wheel of a car. It can set direction where you want to go, but you go nowhere without gas, and the gas is positive energy. And if you have that going, it'll blow through fear forms and limiting beliefs and really help you get where you want to go.
Give us some little overview of the techniques that you recommend to people.
CD, I wrote a book after this with all the
The staff and ownership of WCGA 1100 AM in Woodbine, Georgia welcome reports of this special maintenance test from distant listeners. We have provided advance notification of this test to members of the National Radio Club, International Radio Club of America, and the Medium Wave Circle in the hopes that they will report their reception of our signal. We would appreciate any comments on audio quality, frequency stability, and overall performance. This test is being conducted at our full daytime power as authorized by the FCC during experimental hours. During the test, you will hear special tones and signals designed to test audio performance. Reception reports to this station are welcome. This is a maintenance test from WCGA 1100 AM in Woodbine, Georgia.
the iHeartRadio app wherever you get your podcasts.
The station you love, it's on the free iHeartRadio app. The artist you love, free iHeartRadio app too. The podcast, that's it, they're all here. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. The podcast, A Year with Jackson, is a living and inspiring biblical audio experience that will help you master wisdom from the world's greatest book. In each episode, you'll learn to apply biblical principles to everyday life. Each 76 episode is a journey through the Bible's most profound stories that will strengthen your appreciation of the Word and inspire you to keep learning. Listen to The Bible in a Year with Jack Leslie on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Dear John, uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. But when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, John.
To get your high blood pressure to a healthy range, visit heart.org/blood pressure. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Fatty liver are chronic signs of inflammation and can be aided by
is key.
How will I feel after taking Adaptostem and ImmuStem?
Your immune system is starting to function better after 24 hours. Put Adaptostem along with it, you will feel it in 30 minutes.
Order now at healthylooking.com. The steps to wellness for protect your body's stem cells and will make you feel better. With Adaptostem and ImmuStem and your free gift relax ball is only available. Or toll free at 800-563-30. 800-563-4980. Don't forget to enter promo code at healthylooking.com.
This new year, give yourself a sleep with Casper. Get that long-wished-for mattress that will make it fun. Choose the Wave Hybrid Snow Mattress. Original Hybrid Casper's highest-rated mattress, plus savings on sleep must-haves. Don't drop the ball on these New Year's savings. Save up to $600 on mattress discount. See Casper.com/Pro.
The special maintenance test from WCGA 1100 AM in Woodbine, Georgia. This test is being conducted at our full daytime power as authorized by the FCC during experimental hours. During the test, you will hear special tones and signals designed to test audio performance. We thank you for your patience. This is a maintenance test from WCGA 1100 AM in Woodbine, Georgia.
It is an amazing feat. I have tried your experiments, Joseph, several times, and they have worked probably 9 out of 10 times. That's pretty good percent, isn't it?
That's really good, Jared. Excellent. So that means you have a natural chameleon personality that you can bubble with nice positive energy there. That's great.
How do you use this to make the world a better place? Can we do that en masse?
I think that we can. I think it's important now. There's a lot in the culture accenting negative, the kind of darkness, and this is, the season of light this time of year, so we like to look at that. And, to understand that things are much better than we're told, if you will. There's proportionally less people have war, there's better nutrition, less starvation, better education, all kinds of things are improving along. And if we can focus on what is good, and that's already going well, and have, as I mentioned, feelings of gratitude for all the good things, the beauty of nature, the pets in our lives, our friends, and then with those feelings of being abundant and feeling grateful, really praising that this can be a beautiful place. It can be heaven on earth, if you will. that will counter a lot of the darkness that is going along with fear.
Absolutely.
So you know me, my favorite phrase is fear is expensive, love is priceless, choose wisely.
What is gratitude to you, Joseph?
It's an opening of the heart that happens when you begin to see the reality around and truly appreciate it. So that it's different than you should be grateful to Aunt Nellie for sending you socks for Christmas. Now go write your thank you note. That's duty, your obligation. This is a natural feeling when something goes along that you see, that you appreciate the beauty or the magic, those kind of things.
Thank you goes a long way, doesn't it?
Yeah. In fact, I got a magic story for you tonight that I think could be made into a movie.
Oh, really?
Yes. This woman called me yesterday, and she gave me permission to share this. And it's about her 9-year-old daughter, who earlier this month wrote a note to Santa, right? Mm-hmm. The only thing on the list, rather than get me a new bike and all that, the 9-year-old only put 2 things. Santa, I want to see you so I can believe you, and I'd like it to snow. All right? So my client had just bought my home study course, Think Creation and Liquid Luck, and she said, oh, honey, you know, Santa doesn't really like to appear much, and he's pretty busy this time of year. Well, 3 days later, he knocked on the door. A guy comes to the door in a Santa costume and looking for somebody to live in that house. And so the girl sees Santa. He comes in. He sings Jingle Bells with him, helps decorate the tree, reads the night before Christmas to the little girl. And if he leaves, just as he begins to leave, it starts to snow. How about that? I think it'd be a movie. Yeah, that's a very fear, as we mentioned, can destroy happiness. first reason is because they're verifiable. We know exactly what happened on dice, exactly what should happen on a slot machine, statistically. And the government really regulates that strongly so that there's no cheat, right?
That's right.
So that was the main thing. I couldn't afford $500,000 plus to continue to do studies at universities in laboratories. God bless them, the folks who did those things. And the studies in universities I found kind of boring. They might have you do psychokinesis for 48 seconds precisely on and then 48 seconds off and then on and off for 100 trials when you'd have 128 leads on your head, which is not very comfortable. And you get bored, right? And but if you go to the Citadel and you peek at it and you say, I'd like a rubber flush and lights on the slot machine, you know, I load up 160,000 1 by 10, and when you hit the first pull, you know, something's going on. It's very good for giving you very quick feedback. That you have a rhythm between clarity of intent, you may heart open, moving the heart energy with that, and then letting go. That's often hard. It's hard to let it go after you say that.
Absolutely. We're going to take calls next hour with Joseph Gallenberger. His website is linked up at coasttocoasting.com. Joseph, you mentioned your synchronous study course. Tell us more about that.
It comes with 3 personal coaching hours with me, and lots of meditation exercises that you listen to. Well, they're doing a number of things. They're studying my MC² program, Manifestation Creation Program, that I developed for Monroe Institute, and they've been collecting data there for, I don't know, George, at least 5 years. Results are coming out significant. We do things like when you're lighting light bulbs with your energy, they can measure 400 volts projecting off a human hand, and we see that with healing energy as well when humans do that. Affecting metal bending. We grow seeds in our hands so that there's a seed soaked overnight and you put it in your hand and in 2 minutes we can get root growth 1.5 inches long. So those are some examples of how to affect physical reality with this energy. And much like Vegas, those are real clear feedbacks that, hey, there's something here, and if I apply it to energy healing in my own body or to manifesting what I like in my life, it's likely to be successful. Because in regular life, the feedback is slow. You can be in a bad mood for weeks before you get a cold. Or it could take a year to find your soulmate or whatever you might want to manifest. And so these things that happen within minutes are really good learning tools.
Joseph, you've mentioned abundance a couple times.
Yes.
What does abundance mean to you?
That's the flow of all good. If you think of a cornucopia model, where all these gifts, like if the universe was a wonderful parent wanting to give you what you need, not what you want necessarily, because kids sometimes eat too much candy, right? That these blessings flow to you, and it can not just be financial abundance. That's often wonderful. It's a good energy, but the abundance of friendship, or abundance of creative ideas, abundance of good health, all of that would be under this framework of the good and plenty that could come to you.
And you are convinced, without a doubt, that this works, aren't you?
Yes. I've seen decades now, 3 decades of working at Monroe and in this area with manifestation. And it's not the exception. It tends to be the rule that we create what we're thinking and feeling. That can be negative. And once we get a negative loop going, it can be a little hard to break. But when folks change to the positive energies, we see some amazing things. Life still happens, you know. George, I mentioned, I think on one show a long time ago, some neighbor dogs came over and killed my cat in front of me.
Yeah, that was
years ago. And, you know, he died in my arms. And I went and found the neighbor, and I gave him a hug. I'd never met him before, and just said, we have something soulful to talk about to keep your dogs up better. And I never went into victim or, wanting to go kill his animals or whatever in retribution. And we became friends, and he controlled his animals. And then I got, I was in touch with a pet psychic, and my cat said, hey, I was a predator. I knew the score. And I wanted to be taken out quickly because I was developing a cancer process and I didn't want to go through it. So, from perspectives, things that even look really rough can be okay.
And the owner of the dog was gracious to you?
Yes. He was very sad about it, rather than getting defensive, and he understood, and we had a good communication, and never saw those dogs around my property again. I live in the country, so dogs are allowed to kind of run free. We can get those under control, but he knew that they aren't nothing.
What's your process, Joseph?
Well, I'm working on something I'm going to keep secret a little bit.
Oh, really?
Working about 2 years, and it's been slower than I expected.
Is it related to what we're talking
can wait. Decorating for the holidays. Shopping. Hey, there's always next day delivery. But if you're 50 or older or live with a chronic condition, untreated COVID can be deadly. And if you don't get treatment within days, you might not be able to. So, got COVID symptoms? Talk to a doctor and get treatment right away. Because it just can't wait. We can do this.